Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural A to Jump podcast. My name is Justin of Justin Games. He is Jacob of Gooba and Jetpack. We are both amateur YouTubers, me more than him, but we both decided that we didn't get to talk about games enough, so we wanted to start a podcast, and here we are. Like I said, Jake has been at this YouTube thing a little bit longer than I have. You're up to what, about 500 subscribers? Pretty
Uh,
close.
473 as of today, I believe.
You're pretty close.
Yeah.
I checked before we started recording. I have 9. So
Yeah.
I'm almost there.
All right.
I know I personally know like 7 of them, and then one of them is me. So
That's okay. I think I think our first probably 10 subscribers were 3 of our own accounts and then
exactly.
family and friends. So I definitely can relate to that.
Right. And you've been at it for how long now?
We're coming up on 2 years.
Oh,
We started
nice.
it like July of 2020. So
Okay.
when
So quite a
everyone
while.
was stuck inside, we were bored and like, you know what, we're both fans of YouTube, so let's just do it ourselves.
Absolutely.
And,
Well,
mhm.
I'm a huge fan of your channel. I like
Oh,
everything you guys do.
thank you, sir.
You make me laugh a lot.
I appreciate
I
that.
just started mine in February, which is just a Let's Play channel. Uh, Currently playing through a few games. Horizon Forbidden West is one I'm going through right now, and a couple others that I'm just kind of trying out. I'm trying out Disco Elysium, which is an interesting game.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can check that out on my YouTube channel if you like.
You've put out a ton of videos in just a short amount of time. You're on what, like 40 at part 46 of Horizon or something?
Yeah, I think I'm up to 49. And it's
Okay.
we'll get into that, but oh man, that game is so good.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I want to play.
Yeah, I've been really trying to get in. I mean, I'm not that I'm trying to get into it. I am into it. I just don't have time ever.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Uh, Jake is a very fancy businessman and travels all over the United States, so I'm assuming console gaming is very tough for you.
That makes me sound a lot more executive than I am. But yeah, I do travel quite a bit. I get a good amount of time into my Switch nowadays
Hmm.
with the travel.
Definitely.
Um, and if they ever start sending them out to us peons here, I might be getting a Steam Deck at some point, and then
Nice.
I'll really pick up on the
Okay.
handheld gaming.
I did want to ask you about Steam Deck if that was an option for you.
Yeah, eventually, both Becky, aka Jetpack, and I have put in our pre-orders for the Steam Deck, which is basically just $5 saying whenever they're ready, we would like to pre-order one. So
Yeah,
we're just like waiting in line with thousands of other people.
yeah, Valve's
But
kind of doing that strange, but I feel like even Sony is doing the same thing with PlayStation 5s. That if
mhm.
you want one, that's kind of too bad. You just sit in line.
Yeah, have I ever told you my story of how I got my PS5?
I think you did. It was a total disaster.
Yeah, so basically I was at work, or when they first came out, I had all the notifications for when there was a restock. I was following like Best Buy and Target and all these stores on Twitter, just like waiting for the notification. And then GameStop put up one and said, "Hey, there's going to be a PS5 restock in 5 minutes." I was like, "Okay, I'm at work," so I'm pulled out my phone. I'm with customers, and I'm like walking around with them, like, yeah,
Awesome.
okay. I'm going through like the checkout process, and I'd gotten to the cart before. That's the farthest I had made it,
Right,
and
before
then
it craps out on you.
before it crashed on me, and I made it past the cart. I made it into like the checkout process, and then it said I wasn't signed in.
Oh no.
with like my credit card info. I was like,
Uh,
oh shit. So I had to like real quick do all that. I'm just praying that it stays up. And then it like gave me the confirmation that it went through. And for the next probably 2 hours, I was just like opening up the app, going to my orders, like making sure it was still there. And after about 3 weeks from that time, I finally had it in hand and I have it here now.
well, I'm jealous. Not that I've tried to get it, but watching your stream the other night when you were playing Horizon,
Hmm.
it just looks so smooth, and it's at 60 frames,
Yeah.
60 FPS. That just makes it look phenomenal. I'm playing it on a slim PS4, and it still looks good.
Yeah. That game
How
is
I
like
don't know
very
how
well
they,
optimized.
yeah, I don't know how they figured it out. Where Cyberpunk, you know, completely dropped the ball on that, but Horizon made it work fantastic.
So something weird about Cyberpunk is I got it when I still had a PS4. I had a PS4 Pro at the time and it ran like relatively smooth. There wasn't too many. I think I only had one time that it crashed.
Mhm.
And then after I got the PS5, I was still working my way through it. So I'd switched over to that and it almost ran worse on PS5. Like I think I had way more like game breaking glitches on PS5 than I did on PS4,
Hmm.
which I mean they still haven't released like the PS5 version of it, but you would think that it would have at least been more like optimized since the new consoles just came out.
Yeah, you would think. Did they not release the next gen
I don't,
update
I don't
already?
think so. Or maybe there's been an update, but I don't think there's been. They're working on like the actual
Oh, I
next
thought,
gen port of it, and I don't think that's out yet. But
yeah, you're right. Coming
yeah.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for some reason, I had thought it was.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know. I
when
don't know what the delay is.
my experience with Cyberpunk was bad. It
Yeah.
crashing a lot every time like I left the apartment, and then when I would pause the game and go into like the options menu to try and mess with stuff in there, and it would just completely freeze. Couldn't get out of the options menu,
Yeah.
and that happened several times.
Yeah, I don't know. That game had so much potential and then it just like they tried to do too much with it.
Hmm.
There was like uh I've heard a YouTuber I follow say before like the game was not undercooked, it was overcooked. They
Yeah,
did they tried to do everything with it and they should have really like refined their vision for the game before trying to put it out with all of these bugs.
yeah. They went from Witcher 3, which is one of the best games ever,
Hmm.
to that, which really sucks because as a studio, I feel like CD Projekt Red is just better than that,
Hmm.
and now their name's kind of tarnished.
Yeah, they've definitely tainted their reputation with that one.
Hmm. But okay, let's jump in here. Like I said, we're both. Do you consider yourself an amateur? Am I disrespecting you calling you an amateur YouTuber?
No, but
Okay,
I also don't think that you are either. So, my
okay,
definition of a YouTuber does not tie itself to a number of subscribers or a number of views. I think it's more if you do YouTube regularly, you put work into your videos, you feel like proud of the content you put out. I think that's what makes you a YouTuber. So,
okay. Then we're
I
YouTubers.
we are YouTubers.
We're YouTubers you might not have heard of. Let's put it that way. So
Maybe
as
now
a
you will though.
yeah,
Maybe this
exactly.
will. Yeah.
So as a bit of an icebreaker, Jake, I want you to try to describe your and Becca's channel in like a sentence of 5 words or less. You think you can do
Okay.
that?
I believe so.
All right.
So to put it in a sentence, I would say gamer couple make different videos.
Okay, I
And
like that a lot.
I will elaborate on that if you'd like.
Yeah.
Basically what it comes down to is our channel is almost fully gaming based. We've done a couple like TV show reactions and stuff like that, but it's like 99% gaming.
Mhm.
And we have kind of different styles of videos we like to make. I am very much like, um, I don't know. I take a really long time to try and like analyze video games, or topics surrounding video games. Um, and I take like a month to 2 months to put out some videos.
Mhm.
But Becky, aka Jetpack, um, she's so good at just thinking up an idea that she knows our viewers will like and making it happen. Like her, um, the I can't even think of words right now. The ambience videos that she does for the Nancy Drew games.
Yeah.
Um, I don't remember when she came up with that idea, but it was something that was like, I like watching stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
think our viewers would too. And she's just made that like, you know, a huge part of our channel.
Yeah, that's
That's
some of your most viewed videos, I believe, right?
Yeah, because it's something that she just loves watching as well or having on in the background. And then she saw um some other people doing like Sims builds of different locations in those
Mhm.
games. So she was like, I want to do that too. And she did, and she's done it like done an incredible job. She puts so much like thought into even just the little things, like the little like knickknacks around the build or whatever.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, like um she's a bit more creative when it comes to that type of stuff.
Sure.
Um but yeah.
Can I thought of a way to describe your channel in 5 words less. Can I share it with
Okay.
you? Uh,
Yes, very much so.
it is Nancy Drew and other stuff. Because I'll admit, I didn't even know Nancy Drew made games. I thought they were just books,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
I admit I don't watch all. I try to watch what I can, but I don't watch all the Nancy Drew stuff. I definitely watch everything that you make. I feel like I relate a little bit more to your gaming tastes.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of the Nancy Drew stuff, I was not aware of them at all until we started dating. And probably within the first few months of our relationship was when the most recent Nancy Drew game came out. And obviously, like, she was very excited for it. Um, and that one didn't really live up to the hype that everyone had for it.
okay,
But either way, whenever we got to see each other, she was always very excited to show me the good games in the series. Come to find out, there's 33 of them. So
holy crap.
we
Okay,
uh, basically every time I would come to visit, because we were long distance at the time, we would play like 5 of them because they're relatively short
short.
games,
Okay,
like 6 to 10 hours, I would say.
okay. Well, that's not
Um,
super short.
yeah, but we started like a checklist and we played through every single one of them. What either I would play it or I would watch her.
That's
And
fun.
now I would consider myself a fan of them as well.
Okay.
They're very different games than what we kind of grew up playing.
hmm
Um,
Would you describe them
but
as like point and click adventure type things?
yeah, yeah, they're
Not
point and
necessarily like
click, like mystery slash puzzle games.
okay,
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of detail that goes into the stories, and and there's like the fandom behind it is crazy. Like
I bet.
they all have like the different characters that they love or hate, and there's like different kind of uh fan theories behind a bunch of stuff. Like it's very much like a full on fandom. It's just a lot smaller than what would be around like you know,
Yeah, like an
like The
Assassin's
Last of Us.
Creed.
And
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
something like that.
Hmm.
Well, all right. There's our channel. Oh, I didn't get mine.
Yeah, you didn't say yours yet.
Mine, I would say, in-depth Let's Plays.
Okay.
I really enjoy really getting into a game. I enjoy reading all the, the codex entries or whatever you want to call them. I love doing as many side quests as I can. Just the developers took the time to put all that stuff in there. And, they don't just put it in there for absolutely no reason. It's meant
Hmm.
to add to the story. So, I really like to dig into a game's story, like Horizon, that has such a deep story, and you
Hmm.
really don't get you only get some of it through the cutscenes. Whereas if you dove into all those I forget what they're called in that game, but the things you scan and you get a little text box, go
Hmm.
in there and read it. Once you do that, I mean, you just get so much more information about characters, dead or alive, the world itself,
Hmm.
things like that. Even like The Witcher, you can read all those books. I like doing all that stuff. I like
Yeah.
getting as much out of a game as I can.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's my channel.
Yeah.
We heard about your fantastic channel. So I wanted to dive into some news, which it's been a fairly busy year. I wanted to stay
Yeah.
a little recent. There's been acquisitions up the wazoo.
Some very
Uh,
big ones. Yeah.
yeah, like Microsoft getting Activision, Sony getting Bungie. So we'll have to wait and see what that all brings.
Hmm.
But something I really wanted to get into was Star Wars.
Okay.
Disney or Star Wars held an event, I believe, last weekend, something like that,
Hmm.
where they just revealed a ton of new stuff.
Hmm.
And I know, Jake, you said you're not the biggest Star Wars guy, but I am. So I wanted to go through every Star Wars game that's in development right now,
Okay.
and this is a GameSpot article from Gabe Gurwin.
Okay.
I think I pronounced that correctly.
Hmm.
Obviously, the big one is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is
Yep.
the sequel to Fallen Order,
Yep.
which I think is going to be like the flagship Star Wars game from now on. I think,
Yeah, I think that's fair.
yeah, everything else is kind of, I don't want to say lesser, but just not as big of a deal right now,
Hmm.
mostly because they're not even released. Did you enjoy Fallen Order? Did you play that?
I did play it. I didn't finish it.
Same here.
From what I played, I did enjoy it though.
Hmm.
It was a little bit buggy when it first came out. There was a couple times where I got stuck in like a boss fight and lost all my progress. My
Lovely.
understanding is that they have cleaned it up quite a bit, so I should go back to it at some point.
Same.
But
I believe it's on Game Pass through
okay.
EA's service. So I mean, you
Mhm.
can play that on your Xbox or your PC, which
Mhm.
I want to play through it because, like I said, I started it, and I'm not a huge fan of that Souls formula,
Yeah.
which it kind of mimics.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I need to go back into it with a little more open of a mind and just try a little harder.
Mhm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I want to make sure I'm nice and fresh for the new one on that.
Mhm.
Did you know they got a new facial model for this new Jedi Survivor?
Oh,
He's
really?
he's gonna look a little different than the first, pretty similar, but
Is it not what's his name?
it's still Cal. It's still Cal
It's still
Kestis.
Cal,
Yeah,
but
he looks just a little different. You can tell it's not the
okay.
same guy, but it is different. But he still
Okay.
has the long red hair.
Mhm.
But it's so that he can be in live action movies too and still look the
Okay.
same. So Cal Kestis will be in some future Star Wars movies apparently,
Okay.
and he'll look the same, which I think is really cool. I
That is
don't
cool.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's ever been done before.
Well, I feel like it's the reverse of like movie tie-in video games from like the
Yeah.
early 2000s,
Yep.
where they would make them look like the character or the actor in the movie, but
Hmm.
they were just like an afterthought when it came to the games.
Yeah,
Now it's going
exactly.
to be like it'll be kind of reversed. It'll be the game came first and then they have to build a show or a movie around it,
Yeah.
which I think that's really cool.
I think that's
And with it
awesome.
being the same actor as well.
Yeah. I was kind of blown away when I heard that
Yeah.
that was happening.
Yeah,
But
I'm
okay, yeah,
excited for that.
that's Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That is slotted for 2023. So
Okay.
we'll see you in 2024.
Yeah.
Respawn is working on another Star Wars first-person shooter, which Respawn is the studio that works on Fallen Order and Survivor.
hmm
But they're making another one. Uh, yeah, not much has been revealed about this game, but we do know that Peter Hirschman will serve as director. He previously worked on a huge number of Star Wars games, including the original LucasArts Battlefront titles,
Ooh, okay.
multiple Lego Star Wars games, and The Force Unleashed. So this guy, I mean, this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy's he knows his stuff. So that one's exciting. I do like Respawn. They're the same ones that did Titanfall, which
Yeah.
which I
Which
really liked.
yeah, Titanfall was great. I
Titanfall
think it
2
was
is top notch.
I think it kind of got overshadowed that as I think like Battlefield came
Yeah,
some Battlefield game came out at the same time and it kind of overshadowed it, but I think
every
Titanfall 2 is like a top tier
yeah,
shooter.
I think critically it's one of the best games ever. But I feel
Mhm.
like as fans or just casual gamers haven't really heard of it.
Yeah.
Which it's a really good game. If you haven't checked
Mhm.
out Titanfall 2, it's usually dirt cheap. Go play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bit Reactors Star Wars strategy game. Bit Reactors a brand new studio. Uh, it's being made in collaboration with Respawn and former XCOM art director Greg Orch,
Okay.
which is exciting because strategy games are probably my favorite genre.
Mhm.
Maybe right next to RPGs and JRPGs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you hear strategy game, I think everybody thinks XCOM
Yeah.
as the top tier of strategy games. So it's exciting to see that this guy is working on it. You know, it's in good hands at least. So I'm excited
Yeah.
for that one. Star Wars Eclipse. Now, this was announced not that long ago, but that is
I
from. Do you think you've heard of it?
I do, yeah. I
Okay,
remember that name.
it has a phenomenal CG trailer out that you should look up on YouTube. But
Okay.
that's from Quantic Dream. They did,
Oh,
yep, they did Detroit Become Human. They did Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, I believe they did.
yeah. Mhm.
But there has been some controversy at Quantic Dream about not a great work culture and stuff like that. So hopefully they can
I feel
kind of,
like I feel like that kind of ties into just the gaming industry in general. Like,
unfortunately,
or un-
yes,
a hefty majority of them
yeah,
don't have the best reputation.
exactly. But
Hmm
Star Wars Eclipse, like I said, the CG trailer's out. It looks very cool. And I did not play Detroit Become Human, but I did watch a Let's Play of it, and that was a really cool game.
Yeah,
Have you played any of Quantic Dreams games?
kind of the same thing. I started playing Detroit, but I get so like overwhelmed when there's a lot of games to play. So it
Hmm.
was one of those like I put an hour into it and I was like, I'm gonna come back to this, and then that never
That's
happened.
that's everybody,
But
dude. We
yeah,
all do
but
that.
I watched a couple like streamers play it. So I'm familiar with like the story, and it definitely is really interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with a Star Wars story.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with like branching narrative kind of formula of Quantic Dreams games.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that one. And then we have the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic. This was a very old game. Was this like from 2004 or something like that?
Original Xbox, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I remember playing it in one of my friend's basements. I was like, watch him play it. But I don't think I ever really touched it. I don't know anything about the story other than things I've kind of read on the internet, which I know it's a awesome story. Have you played KOTOR at all?
I have not ever played it. I think it's kind of the same. I've seen some people play it, and I just know from my time on YouTube and just researching gaming subjects that it's considered one of the best, if not the best, Star Wars games. So
yeah,
when I saw the announcement for that, I think it was at like a PlayStation showcase.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was.
I knew that, like, even though it wasn't a big deal for me, I knew that was a big deal for gaming in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to that because I know it's one of the best Star Wars stories ever, with the main character being Revan. He's got a very deep story, which is a lot of fun. Let's see, who's working on that? Asper. I don't know
if I know them.
Don't know. See what else they work on. Absolutely nothing I've heard of.
Okay.
Looks like they may have just kind of had a hand in some other Star Wars games.
So maybe this is like one of their first big projects.
Yeah, kind of seems that way. I could be very wrong.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at all. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a fresh studio here. Games. See, it looks like they worked on Civilization 6. They must have helped for Access with that. And a couple other Star Wars games, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. So they've worked on those.
Yeah, okay.
Which is cool. And I lost my GameSpot article.
So they're familiar with the series from what it sounds like.
Absolutely, yep. So that game's in good hands.
Okay.
The next one is called Star Wars Hunters. That is being developed by Zynga, which is is that Candy Crush? Is that who makes?
I think it. Zynga. I know is that?
They're
that's with a Y, right?
Yeah, they're a mobile game developer.
Free mobile and online games. Farmville 2.
Farmville,
is
that's my
Star Wars. Yeah, I see Star Wars Hunters is on the top, the front page. Oh, they're on Farmville 3 now. There's 3 of them.
They're up to a trilogy. We made it.
Yeah. There's a Game of Thrones slots casino. Words with Friends.
Words with Friends. That's the big one right there. Okay, so that's not Candy Crush. That King does Candy Crush. That's right. Let's see. Only coming to mobile and Switch, which is good. Third-person arena action game. Lets you play as a wide variety of character archetypes, including Stormtroopers, Jedi, and Wookiees. So it almost sounds like a Battlefront to me. Maybe like a lesser Battlefront.
The way that's described, it almost sounds more like a Raid Shadow Legends.
Okay.
Almost like a top-down battle simulator type thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but
you drank the Raid Shadow Legends Kool-Aid and you played
it? I never
it?
tried. Okay. I never played it. I just know every YouTuber has one video that they were sponsored for.
Okay, it's absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't know much about that, but that should be. I don't know. I'll be checking it out. Next up is Ubisoft's Star Wars project.
Okay.
Ubisoft I don't know what to say about Ubisoft.
I could say a lot of things about Ubisoft,
Yeah,
but
they
some
were
good,
yeah,
some
they
not
were
good.
they were great. And now they're less great but still good.
Hmm.
I would trust them to make a cool Star Wars game.
Hmm.
And I think they've been under enough scrutiny about their gameplay style, maybe change it up a little bit, where you're not just hunting down towers and bandit
Yeah,
camps and stuff like that.
yeah, that worked for a time, but I think everyone's a little bit burnout on
The whole
the
Ubisoft,
the tower climbing,
yeah,
bandit camp clearing,
yeah, the Ubi
open
formula.
world. Yeah.
But that's being developed by Massive Entertainment, which is Ubisoft's own studio. They made The Division and the Division
Okay.
2,
Hmm.
which I think were pretty cool games.
The Division. Well, I never played Division 2. The
Hmm.
Division was a cool concept um, that I don't think was fully realized.
Hmm.
Because I did enjoy it the first few times I played it. It's a really good game. It's kind of like a Destiny. Like it's a good game to play with friends.
Okay,
Um,
not so much solo.
yeah, it's not a great solo game. It's better
Okay,
to play with people.
okay, that's all the current Star Wars projects
Okay.
that have been announced.
Hmm.
At that event, they announced new shows. They announced a movie that's coming next year, made by the same guy that does the Thor movies. Uh,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, which Thor Ragnarok might be one of my
Was
favorite Marvel.
fantastic.
Yeah, so that was really good. And same guy's doing Love and Thunder,
Hmm.
so it's gonna be that movie's gonna be fun. If it's
Yeah.
anything like the Thor movies, that one's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about Star Wars, Jake? Why aren't you a giant
Um,
fan? Is my question.
well, I will say it is ironic that I'm wearing a Baby Yoda
I didn't even
shirt.
notice.
So I would say that I am a mildly above average Star Wars fan.
Okay.
I've I've
Have you watched Clone Wars?
some. So
Okay. Well,
I had friends.
It was nice having this podcast for a little while, but it's done
Oh
already.
God, couldn't even make it one episode, man. Bummer. No.
Clone Wars is the height of Star Wars entertainment, I believe.
Okay,
It is top tier.
that's that's what I've been told. I just like I don't think I'm a contrarian, but I have a hard time when people tell me like that I have to watch something. I'm kind of like, all right, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Oh, yeah, I'm the exact same way. So that's all right. But anyway,
Yeah,
yes, Star Wars
but
is fun. There's a lot of good games coming.
mhm.
So we'll have to keep our eyes out for that.
Okay.
Moving on to the next topic, I wanted to talk about, I guess, adaptations, but specifically Sony adaptations. We are already
Hmm.
getting a Last of Us series on HBO, correct?
Yes. I could talk about that a lot probably.
I know you're a giant Last of Us fan, so
Mhm.
in 60 seconds, tell us what you're excited about or not excited about.
Okay. So I am very excited with the casting choices.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people are, um, but I mean, Pedro Pascal is arguably one of the best television actors of our time currently.
Hmm. I would agree.
Mandalorian is fantastic. He
Hmm.
was great in Game of Thrones. Um, Also, in general, HBO um, is just top tier when it comes to television. Like Game of Thrones, Barry, really any like Succession, really any of like the HBO um, exclusives are hits. It's being directed by Craig Mazin, I think his name is, but he directed Chernobyl, which was another very good show.
Okay.
Um, and it's got the Last of Us writers behind it, which,
Neil Druckmann, right?
yeah,
He's
which Neil is somewhat a controversial character in the gaming world nowadays because
hmm
of the reception that The Last of Us 2 got,
hmm
which I have a whole series on YouTube about that. I don't need to
Yeah.
get into that.
Yeah, we could
But
talk about. Last of Us 2 for a while, but we
Yeah.
won't.
But what I will say is that I love the casting choices. Bella Ramsey as Ellie, I think, is a really interesting choice, but I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what they do with it. From what I've seen on different forums and stuff like that, like some footage or some pictures from the set, it looks like they're trying to hit all the major story points, um, which I think is good, but I also hope that they will branch off of that a little bit and show us some stuff that we haven't seen and not just a straight up like one for one adaptation of the game. I kind of want to see a different side of the story.
I agree because, of course, the story of The Last of Us Part One by itself is awesome.
Hmm.
Just but making a one to one, it's like us gamers. I mean, we already know the story. We know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
I would like to see something new. I agree with you.
Yeah. If I wanted just like a one for one, like live action retelling, I would just watch the cutscenes. Like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, show me something new, and that's what'll excite me.
I agree. Okay, well, we did learn last week that Sony has more plans to uh, adapt some of their series. Netflix is getting a Horizon show,
Okay.
which I'm pretty excited about. That's one of my favorite franchises.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope. I'm kind of hoping that it's animated. I don't
Yeah.
know if a live action Horizon is going to come through very well for everybody.
Yeah. I think like
I mean, if they figure it out and do it well, I mean, what would be cooler than giant robot T
mm-hmm.
Rexes? You know,
Yeah.
Aloy's taking them down. But yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. If they do, that is very exciting. I did not know about that. I think if they do go the live action route,
Hmm.
um, I hope that they go for more of a practical effects way of doing it, like um kind of like the Mandalorian has been doing. Like they're not focusing on CGI, they're doing like more practical thing, because I think that if you want to make CGI look realistic, um it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money, and Netflix has both of those things,
Hmm.
but I also don't know if they're going to commit as heavily to it. So,
I would agree with that. And animated animated shows just have so much more freedom to be a little bit more unrealistic
mhm.
and a little bit over the top, which Horizon, I mean, I don't know. I think they could get away with either and they'd be cool as long as they did
Mhm.
the CGI well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no timetable for that.
Mhm. If I could ask you a question about that,
Yeah.
because I know that's very important to you. If it did go animated, is there a type of like a type of animation or current show that you would like to see, like the same
Yeah.
style?
Have you watch Arcane on Netflix?
No. Mm-mm.
Give me
I
Arcane.
will. Okay. Give
Uh,
me.
that animation, I don't know if I've seen better animation.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I have seen videos
Yeah.
with
That
this.
Give me that
Okay.
100%.
Yeah,
As
I can get behind that for sure.
and that's a good show. You should watch that show.
Okay. Isn't there a graphic novel for Horizon that looks
Yeah.
similar to that? Okay.
There's a comic series anyway,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I do not have. It's on my wish list, so
Okay.
it will be got eventually.
All right.
Um, Next one, God of War, which I know you're a big fan of. Amazon
Mm-hmm.
is uh, making a God of War show, which
Okay.
I hope that is live action. Which I don't think Amazon really does a whole lot of animated,
No, I think that would definitely be live action.
but
Um,
that would look cool live action. I think.
do you know if they're going for original like Greek God of War or the new
That's a good
Norse
question.
God, like
I don't know.
with Atreus?
I would hope
Um,
they geared towards the more modern Kratos,
I would
whereas
hope so too.
yeah, those older games there was a few issues with with misogyny and stuff like that. So
Didn't age
I
great.
no. So I would think they would gear more towards this modern, more mature
Mhm.
Kratos and hopefully Atreus. That's pretty
I
cool.
would, yeah, I would assume that that's the route they would take. Um, it being Amazon, I have uh my skepticism about it,
Hmm.
just because it's like, have you seen the trailer for the Lord of the Rings show they're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Um, to put it frank, the CGI is bad. It did
Is
not
it?
look good in the trailer for that.
Hmm.
Granted, it's just a trailer. It's early. Maybe it'll improve, but
Yeah, it could.
it was the Super Bowl spot this year, and it didn't look like
Didn't look like it
to the
costs.
quality of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
If
didn't look
that,
like each episode cost $50 million or something like that.
yeah,
It's like the
um,
most most highly budgeted show in history, I think.
hmm and
Right
it
above.
did not look
It
it
just
at
didn't look
all.
like it. I did not get that impression when I saw it, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
I'll look again.
maybe I'm being too critical of it because it's
Hmm.
Amazon, and
Sure.
I don't really trust them to begin with.
Sure, of course.
But um, I am interested to see what they'll do with God of War.
Hmm.
Um, they that's a show that I think that they have to get right, and if they do, it will be a massive hit.
I agree. We also got news that Gran Turismo is getting an adaptation. I don't remember where or what service is getting that.
Hmm.
Which racing. I don't
That's
know.
fine.
I'm into cars.
Yeah, I like cars.
That could be fun.
Will
But
there be a like a story for that? Is there a
I don't know.
story for Gran Turismo?
I heard on. Uh, no, there's not.
Okay.
I don't think there is. I heard on
Okay.
a podcast. I forget which one, but somebody on that was hoping that Gran Turismo would be full on Japanese anime, just insane races, insane courses, stuff like that.
Hmm.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be cool. I would like that.
All right. Speaking of Sony, there is a state of play today.
Yeah,
I think very soon that we're gonna miss the beginning of.
in a
That's
few
okay.
hours.
What time? Do you know what time it is?
5 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was 2.
yeah.
I don't
Mm-mm.
know why I thought
I
that.
think it's 2
But
Eastern, or no, Pacific time. 3. I
could
don't know.
have maybe that was.
It's supposed to be 5 o'clock Central. So
And for some reason, I believe this is part of Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, even though that's not till next week.
hmm
But it's supposedly going to be some big reveals, I would think. Do
hmm
you have any predictions slash hopes for in this state of play?
hopes definitely. I We have not gotten a release date for God of War yet,
Nope.
which I would be very excited to see this year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as well as they already did like a whole 20-minute thing on Hogwarts Legacy, which I'm very excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like the big ones that I've been focused on were Horizon, which is obviously out,
Already out.
and God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Although there were a couple other ones that intrigued me, but we don't know too much about. One that I'm still waiting for, which is kind of like, I'm surprised I'm excited as I am, is Stray. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I
Where you play
forgot
as the
about
cat?
Stray. Yes, I think that has a release date this year, doesn't it?
Does it? I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing that one. Oh, it's Starry. I did not type that right.
No, it does not. 2022.
Okay, so they are all right. Stray reportedly has a release date of July 19th,
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I thought I heard.
according to Twitter.
Oh,
But
yes, that's Twitter.
Yeah.
You can't lie on Twitter.
No, that's against the rules.
But Stray looks really fun. So hopefully, yeah,
Hmm.
hopefully we get one of those, a trailer
Yeah.
for that, or an actual release date, like you said.
Yeah. And then the other one, which I feel like is, I don't know if it's supposed to release this year, but Forspoken.
Yes, that
Um,
October 11th, I believe.
okay. All right.
That has a
So,
release date.
okay. Then yeah, my only real hopes are a God of War release date. Um, I did see, I just read like very quickly some articles on what's what the predictions are, and I think there's talk of a Street Fighter, some sort of Street Fighter announcement,
Okay.
and then I forget what the other one is. Yeah, they think Street Fighter and Final Fantasy 16.
Yep, that's my biggest hope
Mm-hmm.
as a JRPG fan. Um,
What?
Final Fantasy 15 was one of my favorite games. Final Fantasy 7 is my favorite game. So I am Final Fantasy 16. The trailer they released, I think at the same showcase that they released KOTOR,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or they showed KOTOR. Uh, it was so cool. It was so different. A little
Mm-hmm.
diversion from. Now we haven't gotten a mainline numbered Final Fantasy, single player experience. Uh, Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016, I believe. Before that was Final Fantasy 13, and that was in like I don't even know when that was. That was a long time ago.
That was 2010, I think,
Ish, yeah. There's
somewhere
13.
around there.
It was a trilogy, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't. Final Fantasy 13 2 was my favorite out of that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 16. That's my biggest hope. Hope it's there. All the internet uh, crystal ball readers say it's going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping
Yeah.
for maybe Horizon Forbidden West DLC announcement anyway,
Okay.
because Zero Dawn had the Frozen Wilds,
Which
and
was
that
fantastic.
that was a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping out for that. Eh, you think we'll get a Last of Us Part 3 something?
I think it's too early. I
I
think
agree.
that although, we're almost 2 years out from the release of Last of Us Part 2,
Hmm.
but they didn't announce Part 2 until over 3 years after Part 1 came out. So I think we still have a while. Maybe something for this rumored Last of Us remake,
Yeah,
which
yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
I think it will be cool. I will get it if it comes out.
Hmm.
I don't think it's necessary.
I was
Um,
thinking that too. I don't see why. But it has a good PS4 version,
mhm.
and I don't know. The
Yeah, it runs
graphics,
fantastic on PS5 too. Like it looks like it came out last year.
sure. So I don't know. The graphics aren't the point to that game.
No,
If they were going to
it's
add more story content, then yeah, absolutely, you'd want to check it out. But
yeah,
uh,
that scares me a little bit. I really hope that they don't try and do too much with it because I
mhm,
think it'll take away from just the overall charm of the first one.
agreed.
But I don't know. We'll see. I guess there's supposed to be some uh PSVR 2 news.
Yeah, a lot of
Um
people are expecting that.
mhm.
There's Knack 3. People are waiting for Knack 3.
Knack 3 baby.
Beating down the door waiting for Knack 3. Um, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fun stuff. I'm sure there'll be some good, cool indies
um
that'll be announced.
I don't know about like I haven't kept up too much with the indie scene
Agreed.
thus far. I'm
I've
sure
done a
that
bad
I
job
mean
too.
they always throw in some uh Sony's really good when they do their showcases at throwing stuff in that I had no idea about but looks
Hmm.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like that was very much like what Stray was for me. It like
Exactly. Yep. It's
I
like,
was like, what is this cat game that I really want to play? Like,
yeah, Stray looks awesome. I will definitely be playing that.
mm-hmm,
Um, okay. So it is now June. We're
mm-hmm,
just about halfway through this year of 2022, which I thought was going to be a very thin year for game releases, but I
mm-hmm.
don't think that's necessarily been the case. There's been a ton of good games already. Just haven't played them all.
Yeah.
It's it's difficult to find the time to play all these games, but I definitely have played a few that I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've played a lot of games so far this year?
I definitely don't think I have played very many. At least not very many new games. Of the ones that have released this year, the main two that I have put a lot of time in are Pokemon Legends and Horizon. Um, which both are great games in their own right. Horizon definitely more than Pokemon. Um, but for how the year, like how this year has gone so far, um, I feel like those are just two of many games that really like went above expectation this year when we weren't expecting that good of a year, I think. Oh, your audio cut out.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
you're
did not I did not play Legends Arceus. Excuse me, Arceus. Um
I
I
still don't know what it is. I still don't know how to pronounce
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's Arceus,
Okay.
but everyone
I'll
pronounces
I'll
it
go with
differently.
that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um I'm a I like Pokemon. I like them a lot. I the games I buy every one, and I get I don't know halfway through it and then I stop. I
Hmm.
just kind of lose interest. I didn't touch Arceus at all, but it looked ambitious. I know you have a video on your YouTube channel full of all your thoughts. It seemed like you
Hmm.
kind of had a bit of a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah. So my thoughts on Arceus are it was a very fun twist on the Pokemon formula, I guess. Because they're all kind of open world, but this is the first one that really felt
A
open world.
truly open world, yeah.
Yeah, and like the fact that you can see the Pokemon roaming around, like you can interact with them however you like. That was what was fun about it.
Hmm.
The battle mechanics are still basically the same. Um, they're the story is abysmal. There's no like there's no voice acting, which there never has been to begin with. But I
No,
think that if they're gonna try and go for like a story driven game like that, um, I think that they just need to try harder. Like Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise, and they don't put any of that into the games. Like,
it seems strange, doesn't it? I
yeah,
mean, I'm hoping that Scarlet and Violet maybe change that formula around a little bit. Maybe
hmm,
there's still not going to be voice acting. I don't think you're ever going to get voice acting in a Pokemon game.
yeah,
And they do that, they do that on purpose so that they can put it in like a dozen languages.
which is
And
fair. Yeah.
yeah, which I like. That gives more people access to fun games that people like.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I agree. We'll hold out hope for Scarlet and Violet, which come out in November, I believe.
Okay.
Which again, I'll pick it up. I probably won't like it, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2. That was a big one. Did you touch that at all?
I have not played Dying Light 2.
Me
I
neither.
barely played the first one.
Same.
It was one that I was really excited for, and uh, I don't know what I was expecting with the gameplay of it. Like, I thought it was cool, the concept of like parkour and
Hmm.
zombies. Um, and I definitely liked the idea of like at night the zombies change, like they're
Yeah.
more like
Yeah. The
more like monstrous.
yeah, the idea behind Dying Light is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I don't know where it misses, but
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't tick those boxes for me.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like it should be a game that I enjoy. Like I
Hmm.
like all of those things, but it didn't excite me the way that I thought it would.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about Cyberpunk at the beginning of the show a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was already out, but it's not. So we won't delve too far into
Yeah,
that.
we can still, but maybe when that finally comes out, I'll give it a shot and see
Yeah, we can, because I think
if it's
it's
improved.
probably a free upgrade, right? If you have the
I assume so. If they were willing to give people full refunds on it when it first came out, I feel like they should be able to
yeah,
give a
I
free
think.
upgrade for the people who didn't return it.
Yeah. CD Projekt Red did a stream not too long ago detailing the updates that might have already come. Maybe that's what I thought, but
Mm-hmm.
they added like new apartments and things that nobody really cared about. I felt like
Yeah.
they added, like I said, apartments that you can sit down and have drinks in, stuff like that. They had like throwing knives. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
that wasn't what I wanted, but
like that's
if it makes other people happy, sure, go for it.
okay. Fair enough.
Horizon Forbidden West is a huge one for me, which you can watch me play through that on my YouTube channel, where I just basically gush over the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's it is so similar yet so different than Zero Dawn. I think I was describing to you that it's way more tactical.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people complain that it's too easy. I'm like, well, what difficulty are you playing it on? Because I bumped it up to very hard because I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a little easy too. But once I got to very hard, it is punishing. Like even
Yeah.
the little burrowers that go under the underground, if three of them are attacking you, yeah, I'll die.
Yeah.
It can be tough, but I like how tactical it is. You got all the elemental status effects. They added even more than they had in Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into a fight with a plowhorn, which is like a triceratops that blows fire out of its horns,
Yeah.
if you're not wearing a fire resistant outfit, you're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
You're gonna die, and you're gonna die fast. So I enjoy that aspect. You go into a fight, you gotta scan the robot. You've got to uh, figure out its weaknesses, what it's strong against, which you kind of have to, or what it's going to hurt you with, which you kind of got to
Mm-hmm.
get into the fight because you don't know it breathes fire or shoots you with plasma until you're actually into the game
Yeah.
or into the fight. So I really enjoy that aspect. The Like I said, I'm playing this on a PS4, PS4 Slim, not even a PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
The facial animations are just top notch. They're so good. I don't know how they ever did it, but it looks crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most fun I've had with a game since Witcher 3. And that's saying a lot coming from me
That
because
is
I
saying
loved
a
Witcher 3.
ton from you.
Any quick thoughts you have on Forbidden West? I
um,
know you've had some time with it.
all I'll say about it, I agree with everything that you said. Also, just a shout out to you. If you had not jumped into my stream the other day when I was playing it,
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that it was that like intricate
Mm-hmm.
with the combat. Um, I'll basically my strategy every time I came up to a new monster was scan it. It's weak to this. All right, what weapon do I have that has that? I'm just gonna spam them with that until something happens.
And
Um,
I could be wrong. The first one, Zero Dawn, might have been that way.
it kind of was. I feel
I
like
think so. If it was weak to fire, just spam it with fire arrows and it'll die.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's not the case.
Yeah. So like you catching me up to speed with like the different status um indicators or whatever, and like knowing when to use those type of weapons and then switch over to just standard arrows and stuff.
Hmm.
That definitely like gave me a new understanding of the game.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think once
so
you,
appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. I think once you get to that level, once you start understanding the combat and you start taking down these big monsters, like you kind of make it look easy, then that's really satisfying. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. We definitely need to mention the probably biggest release so far this year is Elden Ring, which I've already
Yeah.
mentioned. I don't play Souls games. I don't like that formula. So I didn't touch it. What about you?
I have not played it. That's one that I am hesitant to try for the same reasons. I am not good at the Souls games.
Hmm.
They're really like I don't think I'm bad at video games, but they're definitely above my level.
Yeah.
Um which from what I've watched a ton of videos on it, and from what I've heard, it's a game that is a little bit more forgiving to new players if you
Yep.
know how to do it.
Yeah,
So,
I have heard from multiple outlets that it's like the best onboard for FromSoft's games. So
mhm,
maybe we'll check it out sometime.
yeah.
Uh,
But
sorry, go ahead.
no. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. So,
Sorry.
we'll move on.
Okay, I wanted to bring up Triangle Strategy, which is a Final Fantasy Tactics spiritual sequel
Mhm.
uh, from Square Enix. I have not played it, but I really, really want to. It's a tactical uh, RPG, JRPG, which looks like a crazy amount of fun.
Mhm.
So I wanted to bring that one up. I will hopefully play that this year. The next one I wanted to bring up is Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, which
Mhm.
is a prequel to a game coming out next year called Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which is
Okay.
super exciting for us JRPG fans because those are the same people that worked on, I believe it's Ninja Gaiden, which is
Okay.
a big old uh, old JRPG.
Mhm.
God, I want to make sure I get this right. But 100 Heroes, I think they're calling that because it is literally 100 playable characters,
Mhm.
which seems really fun. It started off as a Kickstarter,
Okay.
and it was a very popular Kickstarter. I'm not sure exactly how much money it made, but it blew all of its, what are those called?
Expectations.
Something like that. Like you get, once they reach a certain amount of money, you get another feature.
Oh, it's like goals or
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
yeah. The
Mhm.
goals, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Let's see. I want to make sure I get this. Yeah, let's see. How much money did they make? Okay, this is in yen. So 48 million, no, 481 million yen, which over $4.5 million.
You said 481 million yen.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah,
It's
they passed their $4.5 million goal.
yeah, definitely.
Grr. I'm pretty sure it's Ninja Gaiden, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, any and so no more games that came out this year that you wanted to talk about. Ones you really hoped you want to play.
um Yeah, nothing this year so far that I mean I think I'm gonna play Elden Ring. I feel like I have to. It's
Yeah.
like just knowing how big of a deal it is that it's finally out, I feel like it's something that I should try. And I
Hmm.
might suck at it. I might not
Oh
like
yeah.
I might not enjoy it myself, but I definitely think it's important enough to the gaming community that I
Yeah.
should give it a shot.
We kind of owe it to ourselves as gamers to at least try it.
Yeah.
But okay, so like I said, we're almost halfway through the year, which means we still have 6 more months of releases. So I wanted to quickly run through our top five upcoming releases that are hopefully coming out this year.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so Jake, do you want to go first? Start with your number five.
Okay. So my number five, I've talked about it a little bit already, is
Hmm.
Stray. Um, it's a I believe it's from an indie studio. I don't actually remember who's making it,
It's
but
published by Annapurna.
okay, yeah, they've made
Oh yeah,
some pretty popular games for
yeah,
sure.
they don't miss.
Yeah.
Blue 12 Studios, the people that are making that.
Okay.
I don't know what else they've
So
made.
that might be a new game for them because I'm only seeing Stray as uh
Yeah, so they might be a new studio.
okay. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. I was excited for that when they announced it last year, I think.
Hmm.
Um it's, does like nothing super sophisticated about it. It's just it's a cat in like a robot world and I think that'd be
Yeah,
cool gameplay.
I think it looks like
Um
fun.
yeah, I think that'll be my number 5 for sure.
Okay. Let's see. My number five is a game called Sea of Stars,
Sea of
which,
Stars.
yes, which is a game from a new studio, I believe. No, they're from Sabotage Studios, who made The Messenger, which I never played.
Okay.
Uh, but it looks like a really cool JRPG, kind of with that HD 2D art style.
Mhm.
Just we got one trailer for it last, um, I don't know, last year, but that looks like a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
big JRPG fan, so hopefully that comes out this year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know too much about that, but I'm excited to look into it.
Hmm.
Um so my number 4 is Lord of the Rings Gollum. Um again, or I think that's been slated for this year, has it not? I don't know.
I don't
Um
know. My biggest question is in a world filled with wizards, uh, hobbits, knights, why are they making a game about Gollum?
I think it's just different. Cuz there's been a ton of Lord of the Rings games. We've had the chance to play as the knights and the archers and the wizards. Um, I think one of the best ones they ever made was Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor,
True.
and Shadow of War, the sequel. That kind of mixed a lot of those type of play styles together.
Hmm.
But I don't know, something excites me about the idea of this little creature that doesn't look like it could do much damage at all, but it's stealthy, and
Hmm.
I love stealth games. That's like one of my favorite genres. Um, and it's just a character I've always been really interested in, not just from the games, but from like the movies and the books. Like Gollum is a character that is synonymous with Lord of the Rings, so I think it's cool to give him a focus
And
in in a whole game.
I could be wrong, but I think I heard that you're gonna get flashbacks to Smeagol.
Really?
Yeah, you get to
Okay.
play as him a little bit too, or maybe just in cutscenes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that'll be really cool. I
and
think
going, sorry,
from like a story aspect, I think that could be really interesting.
I agree. So, I'll at least check it out.
Hmm.
Going back to my Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes is not Ninja Gaiden, it's Suikoden, which I
Okay.
can't believe I got that wrong. I apologize to every
Are you gonna get?
every
You're gonna get us canceled on the first
yeah, every
episode,
JRPG
dude.
fan just light me up. Sorry.
Oh, we're gonna get crucified in the
We're done.
comments.
We're done. Like I said, it's been fun.
Yeah.
But okay, my number 4 is God of War. We talked about that
Okay.
plenty already. I
Yep.
don't know if it's coming out this year. I hope it does.
That's my biggest hope for the state of play today is
Hmm.
that just give me a number that ends in 2022. That's all I
Yeah,
care about.
exactly. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Forspoken. Um,
Yes.
another. Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
PlayStation and PC. So
Okay.
PlayStation console exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, big PlayStation guy, obviously, but that one it just really excited me when I saw the first announcement for it. I don't know too much about it. It seems like it's kind of a cool mix of like modern and sort of
Fantasy.
not fantasy.
Yeah.
Um, which it almost reminds me in a way. Did you ever play Infamous?
Yeah. Yep.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Just from the little bit we've seen of it, the gameplay style and just the traversal, it sort of reminds me of that.
Yeah. I agree. Um. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one a lot
Hmm.
too. The magic system looks cool. Combat looks fun.
Yeah.
There has been some issues with it that I hope they maybe kind of address, where how they represent women or women of color, maybe more specifically, where
Hmm.
her magical powers come from her fingernails or and what color they are. It's just
Yeah,
it seems strange. Some stereotypes that maybe don't belong in media anymore, but
it's a
it still
bit
looks like it.
regressive.
Yes, I agree. It should be a fun game, and hopefully maybe they kind of cool it on the that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, my number 3 is Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is the next game from for Axis, which they make.
Hmm.
They make the XCOM games and they make the Civilization games.
Okay.
But again, like I've said already, you think strategy games, you think XCOM. So these are the best strategy game people that could make a cool Marvel strategy game. It is card based, which I'm a little skeptical on. I
Hmm.
think I'd rather be just unlocking abilities and being able to use those abilities whenever, like in a XCOM style. But they're in good hands. I trust
Hmm.
for Access to make a good game, fully customizable main character, which I think is fun. So you get to basically make yourself into your own Marvel superhero, and
Hmm.
the cast that comes along with you on this in this game is incredible. Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, and some lesser known ones. But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. All right,
Yeah.
number 2 for you.
Number 2 is Hogwarts Legacy. Um, I will not shy away from the fact that I was a Harry Potter nerd growing
Hmm.
up. Um, watched all the movies, read most of the books. I have not seen the most recent Fantastic Beasts movie, but I've seen the other two.
Hmm.
Um, and that world is just like that. It makes me feel nostalgic.
Absolutely.
Going back to that, and from what they have shown of it so far, like the last PlayStation showcase that they just had like 20 minutes of gameplay on that,
Hmm.
and it literally looks like what you'd imagine going to Hogwarts would be.
Yeah,
Like you can it's almost like the Wizarding World version of Bully um from
that's a
Rockstar.
that's a good comparison for sure.
Yeah. Like you can go to your classes and you can up your skills, but then you can also, you know, go out into the Forbidden Forest and like the different areas around Hogwarts. I think you can fly on broomsticks, which is cool. Like it looks like they've just taken all of the cool aspects of that world and put them in one game and just said, here you go. You live in this world now. Like, do whatever you want. That's what I hope it lives up to that, because that really excites me to think about.
Does that have a release date this year?
It's supposed to be. Uh,
I
I
don't even
thought
know.
they did
Forgot what it's called.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Legacy.
It just says 2022,
All
holiday
right.
2022.
All right. Well,
So
maybe we'll get a trailer today for that, or
yeah,
release
that
or actual release date.
that would be cool. I'm hoping for that.
My number two is Forspoken, so we've already talked about that.
hmm
So let's move on to your number one.
My number one, we've also already spoken about, is God of War Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as we talked about earlier, I'm a massive fan of the most recent God of War. One of my favorite, probably like my top three games of all time. I can't remember what
Really?
my list. Yeah,
Okay.
but such a good game. It's like the way they reimagined Kratos, to be like not just a warrior, but also trying to figure out how to be like a father figure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there's a this is kind of going back um to the last one, but there's a fantastic video by, I think the YouTube channel is called Good Blood. That it's called Unraveling God of War,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about how the studio took the actual stories from Norse mythology and like shifted them to still make sense in the God of War universe, but with the characters the way they are now. Um, and they kind of hinted at what they think will happen in the upcoming games from that perspective. So I'm just really excited to see where they take it with Kratos and Atreus, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
also with the Norse mythology behind it too.
Same. And with
Yeah.
a name like Ragnarok,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna go well. I think there's going to be some disasters.
Yeah. I think that there's definitely in the world of the game, it's not going to be pretty, but the hopefully the game itself will actually be really good.
I agree. I'm very much looking forward to that. Hopefully, it actually comes out this year. That's
Oh god,
there's a big asterisk on almost all these. Forspoken could get delayed again. You know.
yeah. I feel
Um.
like that's the case in just in general with gaming, is like
Yeah.
they drop the first release date is like it almost needs to have an asterisk on it.
Yeah.
It's like we're shooting for this, but we might come out in a month and say, all right, we're going to push it back 2 more months.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll get to a couple delays here in a minute. But
hmm
my number one comes out this month in a couple weeks actually. It
hmm
is Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which
Okay.
is I don't even know if you want to call it a sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses, because if you knew the story of that game, it'd be hard to have a direct sequel to that.
hmm
But it has the same characters, different style. It's not a turn-based strategy game. It's a Dynasty Warriors type game,
Okay. Yeah.
kind of like the what was the Zelda ones called?
Hyrule
There's
Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors, yeah.
hmm
Um, I'm excited. There's still promising a lot of strategic elements to this game,
hmm
so I'm excited to get into that and see what maybe they kind of do differently, but still
hmm
make it the Dynasty Warriors type game, which I have never played a Dynasty Warriors game.
hmm
I don't know if I'll like it, but I love all those characters. I love that whole Three Houses story. That's one of my top five favorite games of all time too.
hmm
So very much looking forward to that, and hopefully, I can give you guys an update about that because that comes out June 24th, I believe.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear how that turns out.
Yeah, that should be fun. You get a new protagonist, and it seems like the protagonist from Three Houses is the main antagonist
Oh,
of Three
that's
Hopes.
interesting. Okay.
Which, yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out. But you get
hmm
all the same characters from Three Houses,
hmm
which you love them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. We do have some pretty significant delays. Two of them are stand out most to me that hurt. First off is Starfield, which was Bethesda's new,
Yeah.
brand new IP. First new
Hmm.
IP that they've made in 15 years or something like that. So I was really looking forward to that. And Bethesda, I don't know. I, Skyrim is amazing
Hmm.
despite its flaws. So I'm kind of hoping Starfield can be amazing. I love the RPG side of it, but I also love the space side of it. Those
Hmm.
are two of my favorite genres
Yeah.
in my media. So, do you have any thoughts on Starfield?
I don't know too much about it. I know that Bethesda really needs a win right now.
They do, don't they?
It's been a rough few years for them. And I definitely am excited for this one. I think uh I love just in general I love a new IP. Like I feel like there's something exciting about it even if it's
Hmm.
a studio I'm not familiar with. Um I'm excited to see what they do. Space theme is cool. Especially a space RPG. Um
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know too much, but I'm optimistic about it either way.
I agree.
I hope it's not delayed too crazy.
Yeah, I believe they gave a release date for it, or did they? No, 2023.
Yep.
Well, then, okay. The next big one is the one that hurts the most, Breath of the Wild 2, or the
Mhm.
sequel to the Breath of the Wild, as Nintendo calls it.
Mhm.
That originally had a release date of this year, which was everyone's most anticipated, right next to Elden Ring. But
Yeah.
it appears we're going to have to wait a little longer till next year. Hopefully, early next year would be great.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to wait as long as I have to play that game. Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild,
I
it was definitely one of my favorite games of all time, too.
mhm. Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's where I'm a little bit split on game delays. Cuz obviously it sucks, we want them as soon as possible, but we've also seen several times how a delay can just make a game better.
Hmm.
I know God of War had that, Last of Us 2 had that. I think that as much as it sucks to read that article and think like, oh, we got to wait a few more months or whatever, hopefully that means that they're not killing themselves to try and finish it to the point where one, their employees are, I want the employees to be treated fairly,
Yeah, of
but
course.
also to make a game that we as fans like will really appreciate.
Yeah.
Like you can see the extra time went to something.
Yeah. And we know next to nothing about it. We know it's going to be the
Hmm.
same world. We know that Zelda has short hair now,
Yeah.
which made headlines. But if you just Google or if you search on YouTube Breath of the Wild 2, uh, I don't know, anything, and you can just find tons of theory videos about the trailers they've released so far. You
Hmm.
could stay busy for a while as they go frame by frame on that trailer where they were in the dungeon
Hmm.
with what we believe to be Ganon. But yeah, that one hurts. Starfield hurts. I was really looking forward to playing at least Starfield on my channel.
Hmm.
I'm very nervous about Nintendo stuff on my channel. I feel like Nintendo is just ruthless with those copyright strikes
Hmm.
and just willing to, I don't know, take your channel down before you let them profit off of your or let you profit off of their stuff. Um, but yeah, we had it planned to tell you about our gaming journey from childhood till now, but I believe we're out of time.
Yeah. I know you got to get going.
Yeah, children and
We've
all.
yeah, we've done we've been going for an hour and a half now, so I
Yeah,
think that's probably a good
yeah, it's
uh
good place
good
to
first episode.
wrap it up. And then whenever we come back, we don't know how often this will be recorded. It depends on executive man, his schedule over there. But we'll try to do it as often as we can. This is pretty fun. I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed this getting to talk about games for a while, which no one else does. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't have
Not
any
in the
other
same way.
gaming friends. So yeah. So we will try to get into that in our next episode. I think it's kind of fun to explore each other's uh, gaming journeys, like where we started to
Mhm.
how we ended up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that in the next episode. But until then, thank you all so much for watching episode 1 of the A to Jump podcast. And hopefully, we will see you next time.
Thanks guys.